Today we're celebrating the 30th anniversary one of Walt Disney Animation Studios' 32nd worldwide most popular animated film, The Lion King. It was opening in theaters in the summer of June 24, 1994. And so the story happens when the animals of Africa were gathered for the presentation of Simba, the newborn lion cub and the future Lion King. Everyone was rejoiced except Mufasa's brother Scar. But Mufasa and Zazu was not pleased that Scar was absent from the presentation of Simba. Otherwise, Scar always wanted to become king, but Mufasa wouldn't allow it. Few days passed. Simba grew into a young lion cub, and Mufasa showed him his kingdom that he ruled. And he warned him not to go at the Shadowlands. And he had a visit from his uncle Scar, and told him that the Shadowlands was the elephant graveyard, and he tricked Simba into think that he was a good uncle. And then Simba joined in with Nala, and they decided to ditch Zazu and headed to the elephant graveyard, and they were surrounded by the three evil hyenas, Shenzi, Banzai, and Ed. Mufasa stopped the hyenas, and he scolded Simba for disobeying him. And Simba explained that he wanted to be brave like him. But Mufasa sighed. But being brave doesn't mean you're looking for trouble. And then he showed him some new lessons. That the great kings of the past will be there to guide Simba when he feels alone. And Mufasa will be here with him as well. But Scar was devastated that his plan has failed, and he forming a new plan to get rid of Mufasa and Simba, and he promised the hyenas that they will never go hungry again. The next day, Scar took Simba into the gorge, and letting him stay for a while until he returned. But then he tricked him again, unnoticed. And Scar gave the signal to Shenzi, Banzai, and Ed, as the wildebeest was a stampede down to the gorge, and Simba ran for his life, and Mufasa saved him just in time. But before he is saved, Scar did not save his life. And he said, "Long live the king." And his betrayal, nature, threw Mufasa off the cliff, and he fall into the wildebeests below. As long as the stampede is over, Simba found his father motionless, because he's dead. And Scar told Simba to run away and never return. And he sent the hyenas to track down Simba and kill him. But Simba escaped and headed to the faraway world. But Shenzi realized if Simba will come back someday, they will kill him. At Pride Rock, the Pridelanders and Sarabi, Zazu, and Nala mourning the death of Mufasa and Simba, and Scar took over the throne and became a new king. And Rafiki mourned the death of Mufasa and Simba as well. At the desert, there were Simba lying motionless at the desert and surrounded by crows and buzzards. But before it happened, the meerkat and a warthog named Timon and Pumbaa rescued him, and defeating and beating up the buzzards and crows and scaring them away. But Timon was scared about lions, but he can't allow Pumbaa to keeping him. But then he got an idea. What if that Simba would be on their side? But as long as they did, Simba joined the life of Hakuna Matata. It means no worries. As years went by, he grew into a large adult lion. Back in the Pride Lands, Scar became the future king, and the Pride Lands was destroyed with no food, no water. But the hyenas complained to Scar that there is no food or water, and the lions were unable to hunt. Meanwhile, Nala chases Pumbaa, and Simba stopped her. And then he recognized his old friend Nala, and they reunite together. But they fall in love. Can you feel the love tonight? But Timon was not amused. And later they got into an argument that Simba did not feel worthy because he can't be the king because Scar is. When Rafiki shows up and shows the reflection of Mufasa to Simba, and from the sky of clouds, this ghost Mufasa approaches, that told Simba that he is the real rightful king. But then Simba decided to go back, and Nala looked for Simba because he's gone. But then Rafiki told him that the king has returned. And then Simba returned home and discovered that the Pride Lands was destroyed because Nala was right. And then Nala, Timon, and Pumbaa arrived at the Pride Lands. And they snuck in back to the Pride Rock to confront Scar. But then he accuses Simba for Mufasa's death. But before he falls to the cliff, the lightning storm struck at Pride Lands and started wildfires. And Scar clawed him the same thing he did to Mufasa. And he confessed that he killed Mufasa. And then Simba finally knew the truth, and he pinned down Scar and forcing Scar to confess to the Pridelanders. The hyenas attacked Simba, and the lions fight the hyenas, and Timon and Pumbaa joined the fight. And Simba got Scar cornered. And Scar explained to Simba that the hyenas were the real enemy and blaming them for the cause of the death of Mufasa. But Simba wouldn't trust him anymore, and ordering him to leave the kingdom for good and never return. But before he did, he attacked Simba, and Simba knocked Scar off the edge of the Pride Rock, and where the mob of his own army of hyenas was waiting. And Scar was never seen again. And as Simba won the battle, he took over the Pride Lands and take his place as the rightful king. And all the animals are rejoiced of Simba's return. And Nala became the queen. And Rafiki rises and Simba and Nala's newborn cub to the Pride Landers to continue the rejoice of the circle of life. And that film has won the Academy Award for Best Original Score and Best Original Song for the song Can You Feel the Love Tonight? So let me know in the comments. And The Lion King is coming back to theaters on July 12, 2024 in honor of the 30th anniversary. This is Minion Fan 1024 signing off. And be sure to watch The Lion King, now streaming on Disney Plus.